guy.
Everyone needs
Oh.
to have a little guy.
Yeah, you could get yourself a little guy.
Little guys makes life easier, right?
I'm gonna do a little fucking
Oh
everyone
wow,
post.
that looks so cool.
Yeah. So we are in. Can you see yourself?
Yeah, I can see myself there.
Perfect. Cool. Right. So I think we should just kick off. Let's just get the notes up. Do a little wave.
Hi.
Oh, like it's like one of those anime things. When you move, it moves
Yeah.
with you.
Kind of something like that, yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Welcome back to session 9 of MG4T Tactics, Trials, Triumphs and Traps. Today, I'm your host, DM FaZe. We have Nightbeard with us, and we have a special guest, Luger, with us. Today we're going to talk about the Wizards. How you guys doing?
Doing
Yeah.
great. Doing great.
Good. Just wondering why wizards? Why wizards? It's probably my least favorite class. I'm not gonna lie.
But that's so good. Before I say my reply, I'm gonna say thank you for having me.
No, you're
It's
very
a pleasure
welcome.
to be here. When we leave this podcast, you're gonna think about that differently. You're gonna say, "Huh, wizards? Maybe I'll try that. That sounds really fun."
Why haven't I used a wizard before? So
Yes,
Yeah.
I need to get in on that shit.
the wizard is known as the ultimate spellcasters, a full magic user wielding the power of ancient knowledge to shape reality. This episode is going to delve into the unique features, subclasses, spellcasting mechanics, and role-playing tips for your wizard should you choose to use them. So, basically, what are your views on the wizard? Where do they fit into the group?
At the back. Behind everyone. Casting fireball. That's pretty much how I see it. Honestly, I think wizards are great at range. They are great various like support play. And I think with the 2024 rule set, there's a lot more options available for wizards. So wizards can actually start to maybe get a little bit closer. But you know that meme is always there of I cast fireball. There's somebody in the room. I cast fireball. And that's pretty much yeah. That's how I see
the
it.
reputation they usually have. Yeah.
Like the
As
Eldritch
somebody
Blast
with
of
a
the.
lot of knowledge about wizards, I would say that they're more like a Swiss Army knife, as in they are great at so many different things, and they have so many useful tools at their disposal. They can
Oh,
fit
for sure.
just about any role because they are so versatile in their huge spell list, and they have nice little quirks and things that they can do that no other spellcaster can. So sure, you can be the greatest fireball thrower in the world, or you can pick more, how would you say, like
A shocking grass
optional
type of thing,
spells.
yeah.
Yeah, like optional spells. You can do so many cool, nuanced things that, I mean, the possibilities are so vast and huge. Like,
If
for instance,
if you look at
some classes,
go on.
a barbarian and another barbarian can be so close in how they operate. One wizard from another wizard are so hugely different depending on what spells they pick and how they utilize them.
Which
That's
route
also
you
the
go
thing,
down.
that they have so many ways to utilize them.
You look at things like what is it called? Inflict wounds. And I think at level 1 you can do a max. You max out a damage of 30 straight off the bat at level 1 with an inflict wounds with a wizard. So they're not just a far away caster. They can get their hands dirty.
Absolutely,
I think that's what I was saying at the start. The new rule set really does make it a little bit better to play a wizard, I think. Yeah, I think the spell slots, short rest, arcane recovery, story, and with the new ritual casting, I think it makes it a lot more attractive for me to want to try wizard. But I think that a lot of times it's also almost reserved for more experienced players, because it can just be such a challenging.
Difficult class to play.
Yeah, yeah, it's a very
Mm.
difficult class to, because there's so many different options. I think it's not
Right.
like Warlock or
Absolutely,
Sorcerer where you just
absolutely.
go boom,
Let's
I'm in.
have a look at. So,
Yeah.
what would you say? I'll aim this at you first, Luger. What are the key features that define the wizard class? I mean, what would you say is something that's unique and specific to the wizard?
I mean, well, the most obvious is it's the only intelligence-focused class.
Mm-hmm.
So you would like to max your intelligence score as a wizard, obviously. Other classes can benefit from intelligence, but as the wizard, it determines your spell attack modifier and your spell save DC, the number of spells you can have, and so forth. So, as such, you would be a lot better at investigating things, at the Arcana spell, like history, things like would be tied to intelligence. So, you are very likely to be somewhat of a nerd, if you will, or like a scholar, or um, somebody who is tactical, somebody who is smart. So that would play a lot of into it, how you would build your character and how you would role play. A sorcerer is very similar in what kind of spells they throw, a fireball and things like that, but their magic comes from within them, so they're not as intelligent and as trained. So there is a difference there in how you would roleplay and build your character.
What about yourself, Nightbeard? I suppose you haven't really had that much dealings with it.
Well, I've had
Mr.
dealings as the
Anti.
DM dealing with wizards. So look, I do think it's an interesting class that I haven't got around to yet. I think that going through the changes, I definitely think that one of the key aspects is the, the spell book component, is the whole thing about about preparing spells and having those spells available to you, irrespective, as long as it's in your spell book, you've got it.
So, with I
Which
mean, on the back of that, is it do you have access to all these spells, or is it something that you'd have to learn as you go along?
so I'm not 100% certain. As far as I know, it's the spells in your spell book are available to you every day. I mean, it's not like warlocks and sorcerers where you have a sets fixed spells known. Yeah, with a wizard, you've got the adaptability, so you can change out spells as you go, almost. To, let's have a long rest. All right, we're fighting a whole bunch of frost giants in the next set. We're hunting them. It's not like, oh shit, now I've got a whole bunch of frost-based spells. You know what I mean? It's this one you can go and change it out.
So what you're saying is that say you wander into an icy abyss and you've got all sort of lightning based
Ice-based,
spells.
yeah.
You could take a long rest and go, do you know what? I'm going to have fire moving forward and learn
Precisely.
those things to maybe get a little bit of a bonus in your
If
next encounter.
You do know the spells, the fire spells.
Yeah.
Because you need to actually know the spells before you.
So they're not just spells that would be in your spell book. They'd have to be stuff that you've learned. How would you put these spells in your spell book?
Learn a spell through a spell scroll or somebody teaching you, and then you would then inscribe that into your spell book. But you can only, let's say, 20 spells that you've learned for your career, but you can only prepare 12 spells a day. So you would have to leave 8 spells out for the day that you cannot use. And then when you take your next long rest, you can choose, okay, which 12 spells do I want today out of my pool of 20?
Yeah. But it's not like the other ones where you have to switch out one spell. Here you can actually
you can choose your entire list.
deck.
Yes.
Which is fantastic. So that versatility is great, I think. But For me, I'm much more a martial player, so I'm hit 'em and smack 'em kind of person. So I guess I'm not for the intelligent based.
Not with some of the
disagree.
not with some of the characters you played in some of my games. Let's put it that way.
But that goes back to what I said about the Swiss Army knife. Like, you can do all kinds of things. You're so versatile, and the spell book and the preparing spells ties so well into that, because you have that option to say like, hey, you know what? Tomorrow I'm gonna be completely different with the spells I have and what I can do. I'm ready for this thing now instead.
Nice.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next point is how does the intelligence as a key ability shape a wizard's role in the party? Would you say?
Or
is that...
I mean, going back to what I said earlier about you're being more of an intelligent player, you are more tactical, you think about things more, you are
every party needs a Gandalf,
history.
basically, what you're saying.
Yeah, that is a great example. Somebody that says you shall not pass. Somebody says fly, you fools.
Let's think
somebody
about this.
who is a tactical mind.
Yeah,
Somebody who thinks like, oh, this situation is absolutely fucked, we gotta get out, while the barbarian's like, no, we can take them. Like, no, we will die. We need
I
to
can
get out.
still
Be
taste
tactical
their
about
blood on my axe.
Yes. So definitely the more intelligent, tactical.
She would say that they're more the strategist, the knowledge seeker, and the one that's going to roll the best answers in those things that people don't really look at, like arcane, history, those sorts of checks. If your DM is going to throw them out there, your wizard's going to be the one that's going to learn them and know what they're talking about.
I do think a wizard really comes into its own probably in a campaign-based setting, right? Where you have a little bit more time to actually role play, to build up your set, to build up the repertoire with the and the whole kind of relationship with the party. Because one of the big things that I see in terms of an intelligence-based player is your investigation checks, your history checks, where you are uncovering things, lore, looking at magical threats, those kinds of things, which in a one shot you almost don't really get the opportunity to delve into. And because it's an intelligence based character, like the arcana checks that come out and discovering of magical weapons and what they actually do and all of that comes out. I think it's almost maybe that's why I'm not too fond of a wizard. But I'll get there.
Too much to take on board, like too much strategy.
It's too much. It's too much for a one shot. If I can put it that way.
Completely.
Yeah, I think one shots are a pretty lost on wizards. It's a character you want to delve into, a character that's going to offer a lot of reward on a long-term basis. So I understand exactly what you're saying with that.
Yeah, you definitely want something to build up to, like a quest or like a book that you're seeking, or some knowledge that's going to make you an even more powerful wizard. And it goes back into what you said with
spells. Some really powerful spells that you're going to, you've gone to uncover this mystery about your forefathers or whatever who freaking hid away this spell book in a tower somewhere, and you got to go and find it. That kind of thing works well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you're a mystery solver, you're a puzzle solver.
Yeah,
like the rest of the party might not roll that well on those history checks or investigations, and you are incredibly good at them, and you even get expertise at higher levels. So the stronger you get, you're just more likely to find all of these clues that are scattered around in the campaign to solve.
I think it
crazy shit.
And you've got a lot of characters out there that do base their stats on strength, dexterity, so the saving throws. I think like the wizard is the sort of missing puzzle piece when it comes to those checks. If your DM's going in depth and wants to do some real sort of like in-depth storyline, the wizard's going to be filling that gap where other players might not necessarily have that, that good ability.
For sure. I think that is it. It's almost a perfect character to round off a party with.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I can see a party of barbarians, right? Like just ravaging the. I cannot see a party based just of wizards. I mean, that will be.
I
one-
can. That's the thing. I'd rather have a
It would-
party of wizards
it
than a
would-
party of barbarians.
it would
Because
be chaos.
when we get to the edge of the bridge that's fallen down and there's lava everywhere, it's too far for us to jump. We're just gonna be standing there hungry as barbarians and go, "Oh, I can't get over."
Just occasionally
And
jumping
all
in,
the wizards are just teleporting over, like, "Okay, bye guys."
levitating.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can fly. You can teleport through to different dimensions, to different cities.
Hey,
You're like halfway through your quest and you think, oh shit, we forgot to buy
Yeah.
potions. Like, you know what? Let's just teleport back.
at least the
I'll-
4 or
I'll
5
get
barbarians that didn't jump in are going to have at least a hot meal before they jump in.
Yeah.
You're convincing me, bro. Like, look, I'm.
I told you we got a few more minutes, but at the end
I'm
of this
building
thing, you're
one.
gonna build a wizard.
I'm
Look-
gonna build one for Phase's next game. I'm
Oh.
gonna absolutely drive him nuts.
So this,
Oh, I love that.
this-
I got a spell for you then. I'm not gonna tell Face what it is, but
Don't
he
do it.
probably knows.
let's move on to the. Yeah, I know exactly what it is. The Wizard's Spellbook. So how important is the Wizard's Spellbook? Tell me about what happens
So,
with the
so
Wizard's Spellbook.
can I ask the question that I asked?
You
in
asked it
our
earlier, yeah.
podcast chat, right? So it's to me, this is like the ultimate question of a wizard. Is the spell book is pretty much everything, right? It is without a
B
spell
end.
book, a wizard, a wizard is
Hmm.
just a dead Gandalf. So
Not
Bow-
quite, but
Balrog.
almost.
so my question is, what happens if a wizard's spell book burns? So if you're a nasty DM, right, and the person gets hit by a fireball, dex save, they roll a
Your
nat
your spellbook just
Um,
goes.
you give them a second opportunity, they
Hmm.
roll a second nat 1. I mean, that's going to invoke serious consequences. This spellbook just goes poof, gone. What happens? Like what's going to happen?
Mm.
That's the thing. You can replace the spellbook.
Oh,
You can make a backup copy
course
of
you
it.
can.
But if you haven't made a backup copy, does that mean you are just you're just a man?
No,
You're just an innocent man.
Well, there are certain features within the subclasses that we're going to get into later, but you can have spells that you always know, that you remember in your head, that you don't need your book to use the glyphs in your book and the arcane sigils to bring out that spell. They are stuck inside your
Yeah.
brain for all of eternity, so you always have them with you, no matter where your book is.
Okay, so
Um,
you're not fully reliant on your spellbook then, right?
No, and also your cantrips are very effective, but they're very simple spells. And those you also know because you don't need to cast them with a spell slot or that kind of deep arcane magic. They're simple feats, but can be very powerful as you grow in level. But you always have your cantrips with you because they are
So,
native to you.
Poison
when you learn
spray.
them.
Poison
There
spray.
goes
Poison
there
spray.
goes my whole strategy for just nullifying wizards in my
Yeah.
campaigns. I'm not.
That's pretty mean, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the wording here is that they are fixed in your mind, so you can't get them out. So your cantrips are always with you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you lose your spellbook, you can. Where is it?
Yeah, that's part of the new one, right? The part of the 2024 rules where I think they've said it's become more like efficient and there's clearer costs and rules about copying spells and all of those kinds of things, which I think in 2014 or 5e versus what are we calling this? 5.5?
5E.2.
Yeah. I'm just calling it 2024 because that's what they have put in.
That's the
D&D
official
so.
release, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the official name. So I think it's become a little bit clearer, and I think maybe that will allow for a little bit of more exploration within the wizard characters.
Not totally like this is cut and dry. It's got a little bit more a bit more grey area in it.
I think so.
So yeah, what are some of the strategies for wizards to maximize their potential in combat? And obviously I will start out by saying stay the fuck back. Just
but I if I can, I will go straight back to the spell book. Because a wizard is so versatile, and they're the only class that can learn new spells when you're not leveling up.
Yeah,
you can find new scrolls and new sigils and things, and
but
is any time.
Is that down to like the DM discretion though? I mean, would you if you went to town and said, "Oh, I want to look for a library or a temple of such," and try and find some sort of like square. It's a big ask for the DM that needs to add that into a game as well.
No,
I think that should be in there. You should not give them the most strong. You shouldn't give them a scroll of a 9th level spell.
No,
immediately maybe.
Definitely, and I think you can use a scroll as a reward as you would use a +1 or +2 sword for a fighter or barbarian. You can use a scroll for a magic use. So
a one-off scroll could be used to learn it into their book. You're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we missed. Missed or didn't touch that much upon with the spellbook is that's how. What I said, when you find a new scroll or a new sigils, or somebody teaches you a spell, you add that spell to your spellbook because you sit down and you spend time to copy this scroll into your spellbook for you to remember later, almost like you're doing schoolwork,
like tracing paper.
Somebody writes on the board and then you write this thing in your notebook, and then you have it in your notebook for later.
Yeah, nice.
That's how your spellbook works. Like
in such a
this information in front of me, and I will write it down, and now it's with me. So now it's mine.
In such a scenario, though, would that scroll become null and void, or would that still be a usable scroll? If you copied it, would that scroll
the Arcane sigil of that scroll
would then transfer into your book? Yeah. So then that scroll would no longer exist. Yeah.
Yeah,
you wouldn't get 2 of it. But the thing is, you then get that spell permanently in your spell book, so you can use it multiple times. So what I'm saying, that would just be a one-time use.
What I'm getting at is the wizard gets a scroll of fireball, copies it down, and then goes, "Here you go, barbarian."
That would be so overpowered.
Tybalt would have been very happy, but no, that's not going to happen. I think another aspect that's often overlooked with wizards. I mean, we speak of fireball. I know I joke about it quite a lot, but I think that one of the aspects that's often overlooked is, I think it's around about level 5 where you get Wall of Force, which I mean that's just like a pretty much a impenetrable barrier, and when you do that, you've got that opportunity to almost control the battlefield so much more. But definitely positioning remains probably one of the most important aspects that a wizard needs to take into account. Even if you've got mage armor, even if you've got shield, Wall of Force, you've got to look at your positioning. It becomes key. It really becomes key.
Talking about positioning, we're saying obviously maximizing your strategy as a wizard is pretty much, you want to stay back. You don't really want to get to, I think in the rules, when you roll for your health, it's only like a D6, isn't it? So you're never going to have a massive
the lowest of any class.
Yeah, you're never going to have a massive health pool as a wizard. So you're never going to have massive AC or your armor class. So if you take a hit, you're going to take a hit. So let's have a look at that and
That's
say
why
what.
you would love somebody in your party who can give you temporary hit points to give you
Yeah.
a little bit of extra oomph.
Or if you partner with, for example, somebody with Pole Master and Sentinel, I mean, they can stand relatively within range of you, and anybody that comes within melee range is going to be smacked by them
Taking a
and
little
put on
bit
their
of a
arse.
jabby jab, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be put on their arse in a prone condition like super quick, and I think that it's one of those one of the party members that you have to play with the strength of the rest of your party, and base your strategy on what your party's going to do. It's
Mate.
not a one size fits all approach.
Protect your wizard at all costs, guys.
You could also, like I said before, you're very tactical and you're smart, and you could be sort of like the team leader, if you will,
Yeah.
and guide your team members like, oh, I'm going to cast this spell. You should probably get over there so that this thing can benefit you. Or get ready to run in because I'm going to haste you. You're going to have extra attacks now. Or you're looking pretty hurt. Do you want to hold my hand and let's teleport the fuck away from you? Like, you have so much versatility.
Yeah.
And you are saying that, oh, you should not be in the middle of combat or you should not be too close. Sometimes that's exactly where you want to be. Sometimes you want to draw all the enemies to you in a big, big pile and say, you know what, guys?
Boom.
I teleport away and then just send fucking hell upon them.
In the same in the same sentence, I mean, if you take the feat, I believe Fey Touched, you get a Misty Step as well, which is an amazing get the fuck out of jail
You
card.
also get that. You also get that in the core wizards.
Oh, so you don't have to take just Fey Touch then?
No, but Fey Touch would give you a free
one,
of it.
a free use of every rest, isn't it? So,
and Misty Step is
always
great.
a useful thing to have as a wizard. Get the fuck out of there,
fantastic. It's great for anybody to have. I mean, if you are being grappled or you can't get away from something, Misty Step, just get the fuck out of there and you sort it. It's like it's just such a cool skill, ability, spell, whatever, whichever character is using it.
So, I mean, another one that I obviously wanted to touch on a little bit was Warcaster as well, as a feat, because I believe that gives you like a touch, like a reaction, like things like Shocking Grasp, Burning Hands. You can cast as a reaction.
Basically.
Or if someone runs past you, you can use that instead of an attack, which is an amazing spell.
Yeah, Warcaster is awesome. It lets you have advantage on your concentration saving throws, which means that you're more likely to lose a great ability that you're upholding. And it also lets you do when you're about to make an opportunity attack instead of making a melee weapon attack.
A jab with a dagger, which you're never gonna fucking hit.
Exactly. Instead, you can forego using a melee weapon and then instead cast any spell you want or a cantrip that has a hit of just that person. You can't do an AoE thing.
It would be
other people.
Would it not be a range though? Would it be better as a touch?
Because
would it still be?
You can do a ranged spell, but
it would be a disadvantage, wouldn't it?
Exactly, because the creature is getting right out of your reach. So the creature is 5 feet within you. But if you are a spell sniper, that's another feat. You don't have disadvantage even when you're firing from 5 feet away. So then you would not worry about that.
So, but you wouldn't still in that situation. You probably still wouldn't want to cast Fireball.
You can cast Fireball because that's an AoE.
Of course.
Target spell. That's what I'm saying. But you don't have to be a damage spell. Yeah. You could cast any spell that targets only that creature. So if you want to, Sleep's
an AoE. Yeah.
But you could do Hold Person, and then as they try to run away, they're just frozen in time, and they're like,
you just
stop them. Fuck you.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah, or you could do another fun thing. You can do Crown of Madness, make them go a little bit insane, hit their friends. I mean, there's so many things that you can do when you dive into it, like you said, it's a lot of spells. It's a
So
complicated class,
you
but
get a lot. You got a
you
lot
have
of
so much
utility.
versatility.
So much utility and
Yes.
versatility.
And this is also one of the reasons that I disagreed earlier when you said, I don't want to get into melee. But maybe you do. Maybe you want
Maybe
them
you
to make
do.
opportunity
Yeah.
attacks so you can screw them up even harder.
You go
Because
in
then
there.
you get to cast spells outside of your own turn, which effectively lets you do twice as much shit.
Honestly, they are quite a broken class, and I feel like they do a lot more damage than a lot of classes even early on. So they yeah, fantastic
But there is that double-edged sword
that they
because
can
they are
get.
so squishy.
Oh, they're super
I want to
squishy.
touch up. I've talked quite a lot. I will leave you the word in a moment. But being so squishy, they have added a new fantastic spell called Arcane Vigor. It's a level 2 spell, which allows the wizard to heal itself.
Which has not been
Drawn
not
upon
this
arcane
is it's a
magic.
2024 rule, yeah.
It's a brand new spell. It's a level 2 spell that lets you use your hit dice, so you won't be able to use them for when you rest later. But if you're in a pinch in combat, you can roll some hit dice mid combat to give yourself a little bit of
Nice.
a get up.
That's
So it's really good.
I mean, obviously, sometimes when you are on that 12 HP or 11 HP, you are right circling. That is going to be the thing that gets you out of trouble.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's such a cool one. Well, obviously I didn't know about that, so that's really cool. I'm making notes.
Let's
Watch
move.
out, FaZe.
Yeah.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, Arcane Vigor is a really good new spell. And when you get to higher level as a wizard, you have so many spell slots. You rarely even use your level 2 spells anymore, but if you have that Arcane Vigor, I got a little bit more health than these guys think I have, so got that in my back pocket.
Let's move on to the wizard subclasses. So, what are the wizard subclasses, and how do they define the wizard's path?
Oh wow. What is that? What's it? Abjurer.
You've got
Evoker.
evocation, you've got illusion,
Yeah, illusion and
abjuration.
divine and divination.
Yeah, so
I
you
think
got
evocation is
abjuration, divination, illusion, and evocation.
So evocation is damage. Illusion, I believe, is more trickery. Abjuration is protection, and the other one is
Divination. So divination is one that I find really interesting. I think that that's the one that's got the foresight and those kinds of things in.
Yeah.
Which
it has the tag. It has the tag. Learn the secrets of the multiverse. So that's what you're saying.
Oh,
super interesting.
It's like
that's open-ended, isn't it?
To me, I think that is something that is a very fun one for me. I think a very interesting one. That I'd like to have a look at. I think the one thing that I like the most about it, I think it's level 3, is portent, where you get you can, after long rest, you roll 2d20s and you write down those scores, and you can use those scores to replace any roll. Any d20 test. So if you roll a nat 20, you keep that in your pocket for anything
that's
later
like
in the game.
Personal silvery bar.
And you know what?
That's it.
To add on top of that, it's you can replace any d20 test made by you.
Yeah,
or a creature that you can see, so you can foretell somebody else's demise.
Whoa!
Yeah, so you can decide like freaking Strahd gets a nat 1 because that's what you rolled after your long rest, and you keep that, and that's the one that you decide on.
Yeah,
and
so
you
even
can
when you rolled
that
high or low on the portents, you're like, you know what, this is good, because if you roll low, I'm gonna shuck this shit at somebody later, or if it's good, I kind of want this for myself.
Yeah,
I love him.
That's really cool.
That is an incredibly
strong.
And
then the next one, I think when you get super high, it gets even better, because then at level 14 you get to roll 3d20. So it's just it's such I don't think it is a very popular subclass. I don't see this being a super popular, one, but this could really screw with you as a DM, let's be honest.
How many times are you rolling this? Is it every long rest?
Every long
Yeah,
rest,
every
and then
long
you
rest.
use it to, I think
I
it's
feel like
you
this
have to use
is
it before your next long rest. If you don't
yeah.
use it, you
You
just
have
lose.
it for the day. It's much
Yeah.
like your prepared spells for the day. You do this at the start of the day. You prepare your spells. You roll
And you get
your
this little
important
bonus,
dice, and then you have this throughout the day.
like a
And the
bardic
next day you do it
inspiration
all
for
over again.
yourself.
Kinda, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like every time you wake up, fresh start. Let's do it all again.
So, right. So, for example, say you roll your 4d20. Let's say, for example, you get really lucky. You roll 80, and you just get to add that to anything, but break it up how you want.
It
No, that's not
replaces
really how
your
it works.
roll.
Like you don't add the numbers together. You have them separate.
Also,
Like if
so
I
say
roll
if
a
I roll
7 and a 20,
so if
I
you
can then use the 20 or the 7 to replace any roll I want later.
but each you'd keep each individual roll then. So say you roll the 4d20. Say you roll 4 20s. You could add them 20s to any rolls, 4 of them.
I can replace them with a roll, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But you never get to roll 4. You
It's
at
only
the beginning you roll 2, and then at level 14 you get to add 1, so you can have.
Oh, so it's 3. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really strong. It's get out of jail free card most of the times. For instance, if you roll an 18, an 18 is great. It's gonna get you out of most saving throws. And you roll a nat 1, and you're like, oh god, this dragon just breathes on me. I'm gonna die. I'm a squish a wizard. Step on the wrong thing. I'm gonna die. And you're like, you know what? That 18 in my back pocket, I'm gonna take that out now. And you know what? I make the save.
But now I'm going to put a spanner in the works on that one. With this one, you have to allocate your dice and say, I'm not going to roll the save. I'm going to use my portent dice.
So you
first roll.
But yeah, exactly. But then you would be like, you know what? If I fail this check, I'm dead.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use it now.
So if you've got a super low roll, right? So let's say you've got a 3 or a 4, I'm going to cast the spell, and if this creature has to do a deck save or a whatever, I'm going to impose this on their save as well while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
So they are going to fail, and they're going to take max damage, which is almost a very broken version of like, oh hell no, you're not going to do that. Like that's
you've seen the future. You know that you cannot get out of my grasp. I know your next move. You're gonna take this hit.
No, I think.
Yeah, I feel like this class is a lot like going back to Gandalf, because Gandalf has this vast knowledge of the world. He's been around for such a long time, and he knows all these secrets and where they need to go, and he foretells the future and whatnot. Like, this is what I would picture Gandalf to be the closest to.
Let's have a quick look into the key strengths of Effication. What would you say evokers are working towards? What are their benefits?
They create explosive elemental effects. What a nice little tag.
Kaboom!
Bang!
They are what you would pretty much say they are mostly tied to the elements of the world, like ice, fire, wind, thunder, lightning, like acid. Like, they are the ones with the huge effects of the most damage, and you can see them from afar, and they're like huge, and they're like a walking dynamite. Like, they're scary. They hurt hard.
I love the level 3 thing. It's called potent cantrip. Okay, so you cast firebolt. Okay, the person you miss, but your creature will still take half damage. That's it. Like you cannot miss. It will always do damage.
Yeah, even if you miss, you throw it with such intensity and such strength that it's gonna splash a little bit onto the creature. Like, you are so determined.
That's it. It's fantastic, and that's at level 3 already. I mean, And then
Yeah, it's really good.
you've got like the later on, I think it's level 10, where you can add intelligence modifier to a damage roll. I mean, come
Yeah.
on, it's
Yeah,
freaking nuts.
this is gonna be the class that you want to play if you want to maximize your damage output for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely.
But given that, you don't have, like we just spoke with the divination, you have that get out of jail free card, and you can see into the future, and you have a lot of versatility there. As an evoker, you don't have as much versatility, but you do have a hard punch.
Yeah. Definitely. I think this is probably the barbarian of the wizards.
Yeah, it's
you don't
the
protect
whole guard.
yourself, but you do have a fantastic level 6 feature called Sculpt Spells, and I do believe this is the only class that can do this. You can create pockets of relatively safety within the text of your evocation.
Yes, so they can cast
Fireball,
an
evocation spell,
and it will not affect your allies.
Creatures that don't take damage. Yeah.
Yeah, I was the fortunate recipient of Sculpt Spells the other day, and I think it was your.
Portia, yeah, Portia was. And yeah,
I was like, oh, thank God.
You're definitely not getting hit by that, but yeah, no, yeah, that's for a fireball user. Sculpt Spells, this is amazing.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd be like, oh god damn it, I really want to cast this spell, but my friends were in there, and I don't want to hurt them. With an evoker, you're gonna be like, guys, don't worry, I'll shape the spell around you and just send a huge fireball at everything.
Do you think this is going to lead to a lot more fireballs being cast into very?
100%. There's going to be balls thrown all over the place.
This is from the old book.
Yeah,
it's already been a thing. So this is just a new, an addition to this one. Yeah, like they've redid some of the wording, but it works the same as it did in the 2014 Player's Handbook, and the evoker is the most used subclass because fireball.
Because of that, yeah, fireball.
Yeah, it's and also different things like you have, like if you want to freeze somebody and just crack them like a little ice thing, let's make this a fucking ice thing. Like you have such control of the elements.
What makes the divination school of magic so valuable in a campaign?
Because you learn the secrets of the multiverse. I said that already. I'm just joking.
So, I mean, what? Why would you want to go down that route, though? I mean, what does that offer the campaign?
Wow, I think definitely one of the things that I like about it is, at level 10 you can understand any language. Like that's it. Like you're done. There's no language that you don't understand.
So you know Murloc.
Well, read. I mean, it's reading. It's not.
Oh, so it's not a verbal thing. Yeah. Okay.
No, but I mean, but added to that is you can cast see invisibility without spending a spell slot, so you can always see hidden things, invisible creatures, secret passages, whatnot.
It's like having true sight. It's like it's like you've got permanent true sight, and then on top of that, on just to rub it in everybody's faces, you've got 120 feet of dark vision, and that's just like
that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
you might as well be a fucking lighthouse.
You know the secrets of the multiverse, and you can truly see the past, present, and the future. You are capable of understanding.
Would you not feel like if you was playing that character, you'd be like, this quest is beneath me. I'm almost god status.
I think it's got. I think for the experienced wizard player, this is probably going to be the RP heavy character.
Absolutely, the Gandalf.
This is going to be such a fun.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, you want to lead your group into Mordor. You want to protect them on the way. You want to succeed on this quest, and you are the one who started the quest from the start, and you know all the people. Like, you know this is gonna happen. You know the future. You need to make this a reality.
Well, they have abilities like Portent as well, which allows them to influence the dice rolls, which is you are corrupting the time continuum. Like,
It's pretty much exactly that. That's great. I'm going to play this. This is going to be my character going forward.
Yeah, but the level 6 feature is also so incredibly strong. Expert Divination. Casting divination spells comes so easily to you that it expends only a fraction of your spellcasting efforts. When you cast a divination spell using a spell 2+ spell slot, you regain 1 expended spell slot.
no, no way.
So you can just keep going so much. Like you can be like, yeah, cantrips are great, but what if I just want to keep throwing my divination spells? You can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, you can. 100%.
Love it.
Yeah, it's very strong, but in the right setting, in the right campaign, because like we said earlier, in a one shot, you probably don't care if you can read any language, and
You probably won't
who's
get to
gonna-
that. You won't get to that point where it's going to be that important. Over a
the big
period
ogre's
of
coming
time.
out, and he doesn't have a book for you to read, so
Yeah. You played one of my one shots, I take it.
yeah.
Let's have a look at necromancy. What does the
We don't have
necromancy?
that class. We don't have that.
Oh, it says here we've got necromancy.
No.
Okay.
You're reading from the old.
No, so I think the I think the
This
one
book,
that
the new book has the Abjurer,
Oh, what?
Yeah,
So
the
it was
Abjurer.
was this a
the
pastoral in
Evoker,
5e?
and the Illusionist. You're reading from the old one. The old one had necromancy.
Ah, okay. So that's no longer a
Yeah.
thing.
It's
That's-
not in
No.
the new book.
That's fine.
It will probably
We-
get added later in another book, but
We will move on to a transmutation wizards.
no.
And they're not
Also
there either.
no.
you've only got the 4, so you've got
Should I take out the next class since I have the book in front of me?
Yes, please.
go,
Yes, please.
let's go with abjuration. Go with that.
I was just going to say, do you want to shield your companions and banish your foes? The Abjurer is the right wizard subclass for you.
Okay, don't.
for sure.
Let's have a look at this then.
So yeah, I think
Basically,
go for
ahead.
it. No, you go.
Okay.
You go.
Oh, you're so polite.
So we just talked so much about the elements with the evoker. You're gonna create these incredible, powerful lightnings and fires and bitter cold and whatnot, and you have the opportunity to never miss a cantrip. What about we do the exact opposite? What if we protect against all of these crazy things? What if we put out massive shields and block things and put arcane wards and protect areas and our friends cannot get hit because we will counter that spell? What if we do all protection? What if we are the paladin of spells? That is what an abjurer would do.
I think
Also,
that is a
tell the
fantastic
enemies to
explanation.
fuck
So
off.
it's pretty much like the support role that a bard would offer.
Yeah.
Look, it's a
when you see-
combination between it will be a combination between a paladin and a bard, like pretty
Yes.
much.
Yeah. And you can protect yourself. You can build a shield around you. Like if you're gonna get hit by something, you can, like, what would you say, absorb some of that magic into you and then use that as a shield.
Okay, so you take this damage that was going to come at you, but you could then reflect that as an additional shield back at someone.
No, you would absorb it into yourself and make yourself sort of a shield.
Yeah.
And also, you are very, very good at fighting other magical creatures because you are basically blocking what they throw at you. One thing that is really good about this is you have, where is it? You can protect level 6 projected ward. When a creature that you can see within 30 feet of you takes damage, you can take a reaction to cause your arcane ward to absorb that damage. If this damage reduces the ward to 0 hit points, the warded creature takes any remaining damage. So if you're about to get hit, you're very low on health, I can as a reaction, it doesn't even have to be my turn. I can just put a shield on you and say, "Fuck you guys, don't hurt my friend."
Oh,
you don't
and it
take the
just
damage.
yeah, okay, nice.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
the Spellbreaker at level 10. I think
Oh, that is so strong.
that
I
is
thought we would build up to that, but yeah, I was
uh
just gonna
yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
just
go
love
for
that.
it. It's so good. Yeah, go
So,
for it.
so you have counter spell and dispel magic always prepared. Okay, so that's just the first step. You don't need to waste part of your spells that you have on that. But now this is the crux of it. If you cast either spell with a spell slot, that slot isn't expended if the spell fails to stop a spell. So if you
Yes.
cast counter spell and you fail, you don't use a slot.
And
That's
counterspell
fantastic.
is a 3rd level spell slot, so as long as you have a 3rd level spell slot left, you can always use counterspell.
Yeah.
And you don't
You
have
just
to be afraid if you fail it, because you'll still have this spell slot
and
for
you
later.
just keep recycling it on
Yes.
everything and it's nuts. It's absolutely
Yeah,
nuts.
and
then
the
you're
fact
just
that you can dispel magic as a
as a
bonus action,
yeah.
and you can add your proficiency bonus to its ability check. That means that if some really powerful creature has a really strong buff on them, you could be like, as a bonus action, like, you know what? I dispel your shit. You're not so strong anymore.
You've activated
And
my
you're
trap
very
card.
likely,
You've
yeah, and you're
activated my
very
trap
likely
card.
to succeed because you get to add your proficiency bonus to the check.
It is so freaking awesome. Like it's really it's like I said at the start, I can't see a party of just wizards. I'm thinking I'm getting to the point where I can.
Mm.
Like
I
like,
told you,
I-
you
I-
can do some
We're
crazy
winning you
shit.
round.
I'm happy to say when I'm wrong. I think this is a thing.
Yeah, you said that you really like the Diviner, and you see that, and I do agree with you. It's an incredible class, and I love it. But the Abjurer is something that I hold very true in there, because I main a bard, and the main focus of a bard is to say
Support.
fuck you to the enemy.
Yeah.
You're not hitting my
Support,
friend
very
while
well.
taunting them, and then exactly while also buffing and helping your friend.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this class does best.
No,
No.
that's awesome.
That's perfect.
And at 14th level, you have spell resistance. You have advantage on saving throws against spells,
broken.
and you have resistance to the damage of spells. So you're not so squishy
broken.
anymore at level 14, because you can take spells. You live and breathe for magic. Magic doesn't fucking hurt you anymore.
This
That's
blase,
ridiculous.
such a random thing.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, like a paladin would just use his shield to deflect anything and be like, ha ha ha, and the wizard would just wave his hand and just like a shield appears.
Just
like,
disvaporate that magic like that. It's not important to me.
Come on.
No, it's not important.
Fight me already. Hit me with your best shot. Is that all you got? Dispel. Get out of here.
So,
Like it's
what
you
else?
can be a true dick with this spell.
What-
I mean this subclass.
This class. What else? What other subclasses do we have?
We have the illusionist left.
Okay, let's have a look.
You can weave subtle spells of deception.
Ooh.
So, I actually, we are all going to play in a arena style
Oh yeah.
one shot next week.
Yeah, tune in
And I have
because we will be streaming it.
And I have prepared an illusionist for that
Nice.
thing.
Are you in that one, Nightbeard, as well?
Oh yeah.
Kingers, yeah. Oh, this is going to be a good laugh. I feel.
It's gonna be great. But in that, I have just made an illusionist, so I have a little bit of fresh knowledge in my brain of it.
Oh, good.
So is this the one that's
You've got fresh knowledge about everything in your brain.
I know, that's ADHD for you. Once it goes in, it doesn't go out. As long as it's something that I like. If you tell me about your day, I'm gonna forget it. But if you say something about it, something nerdy, I'll remember it 20 years from now.
Of course, that's how it works. I've also got that.
Yeah.
Sounds to my
But
own
you were saying.
detriment. Is the illusionist the one where you it's the summoning one, right? Where you can it's
Exactly.
the beast or the fae
Yes,
that you can summon.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but so An illusionist would be like it says, weave subtle spells of deception. You are basically able to be the best trickster there ever was. You could be like a circus person and just perform these great feats of magic, like you would see David Copperfield, like those kinds of illusions, like a real magician, if you will. Um, so you could play this character off as a circus act or something like that. You can draw huge stages and trick people into spending their coin or whatnot, because you have improved illusions. You can cast illusion spells without providing verbal components. So usually,
Just sort of waft through your hand.
exactly, because usually if you were to cast
Oh.
invisibility, it's an illusion spell. You can't cast invisibility if you're too close to the enemy, because they'll hear you cast a spell, even though you
Yeah.
go invisible. They're gonna be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, who the
Oh,
fuck said invisibility?
Charm person
Somebody's around here." Oh, no.
must have been the
And as
wind.
an,
So this
Yeah.
this one. So in essence, like even the silence spell won't prevent you from casting.
Exactly. You
That
can,
is-
even if you're silenced, you can fuck shit up.
Yeah,
If you're smart about it, they won't even know you're there, because you're
you're invisible.
deceiving them.
Yeah.
And you're deceiving them. And with these improved illusions, you also increase the range of your illusion spells by 60 feet. So you can be so far away and just be like, you know what? I'm gonna create a distraction over there. And that could be super useful for your party if you need to get in or out of somewhere. You can
Mythic
create
Guild's got
distractions
talent,
so far
Joe,
away.
Magic Edition. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can cast a distraction so far away that you don't even have to roll a stealth check, because the enemies are so far away investigating that over there. Also, you know the Minor Illusion cantrip, which is already fantastic, but you can do it as a bonus action, and you can make both a sound and an image with a single casting. Usually you can just make a sound or an image. You can basically trick somebody into it being real, make a noise and whatnot, and it's a cantrip. Usually you would have to cast a spell to do something that powerful to deceive people. So it's really good. And as a bonus action, you can just fuck around with people and trick them.
That's just ridiculous. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's great. And this is just level 3. We haven't even gotten to the juicy shit.
Wow.
At level 6, you can summon creatures, phantasmal
Yeah.
creatures. You can make illusions of different creatures, but they're not illusions, are they? You can actually make them come to life temporarily.
Yeah, that's the bestial spirit stuff, right? That
Yes.
the stat block.
And
that's
you
the
get
new
a
one.
free casting of either spell once per day. And then if you want to summon more creatures, you can then expend spell slots, but you do get to cast it for free. And when you cast these spells for free, they do only have half their hit points, but it's a free spell cast, so you get a new, like a free friend to help you in combat. And the friend goes on your turn, and it deals quite a lot of damage, actually. It's not bad.
That's really cool.
And
Right. Oh, go on.
they have the Misty Step spell.
My favorite.
And they have, and they have an added thing to that Misty Step spell, that they can give themselves advantage when they do it, or that they can create magical darkness where they appear. So they are truly deceiving and decepting, and by having this feature, you extend your deceptions onto something else. So you can stay back, and did I mention that you have 60 feet extra range? So you can stay so far away. Like this is the oh, I'm a wizard, I'm weak, let me hide. You're so far back, and your illusion is screwing people 150 feet away from you. They don't even know that you exist, because your illusion's doing.
This is a guy in one of my campaigns. Feel my pain.
No, I think this is awesome. And I mean, if you combine this with maybe fly, I mean, you pretty much you just go park somewhere up in the sky somewhere, and I mean, nothing's going to hit you.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
And then it gets better, because speaking of nothing's gonna hit you, at level 10 you can create an illusion of yourself, illusory self. When you are about to get hit with an attack roll, you can just take in a reaction to create a copy of yourself, and that copy will take the hit, and it will just automatically miss you.
It's fucking insane.
You can use the feature once per short or long rest, but if you're like, I'm getting hit a lot here, you can expend a level 2
Wow.
spell slot to just do it again.
Just
Okay. I don't know. This is
you're
just getting so broken.
you're pretty much in the wizard camp now, right?
Basically,
I'm getting
somebody's
there.
shooting an arrow, and they say, I'm hitting you, and you just say, oh no, that was my friend Luke.
There's nothing
Yeah,
you can
and
do about it.
poof, the illusion's gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
John
it's
Cena
an
did shit.
incredible thing.
let's have
But
a.
the
Oh, cool.
sorry, can I just get 10
Yeah, go,
seconds?
go.
The creme de la creme of this subclass is level 14, illusory reality. You can cast your illusion spells, and one thing in that illusion you can make real for a whole minute.
Whoa.
So if you were to cast something like hallucinatory terrain, where you can just create a world and just transform the mind of the creature looking at it, like let's say we're in a forest and I create a pit of lava, now we're in hell, and you believe that's real. Illusory reality can make a pit appear,
I'm just
or
sitting
a
there.
bridge,
I'm just sitting there thinking
and I can
cream
make a
cheese.
bridge real over this lava, and
Bourbon.
you think that the lava is there, but it's not. But it's a real pit, and I make a real bridge, so you can walk on it. It's not an illusion anymore. And then I can break the concentration on the spell, and that bridge is no longer real anymore. Where do you think you're going? You're falling fucking far down.
Jesus.
Wow, that's so cool.
You can trick. So like, yeah, any illusion you make, you can choose something about that and make it completely real.
What
for
would
the
you
duration.
choose out of all of them subclasses? What would you choose? I mean, I think that last one sounds badass.
That's exactly why I made one for you to enjoy next week. But yeah,
Yeah.
I in a long campaign, I would probably do an abjurer, because like I said, I like to mess with the DM, make him regret all his choices, and just
Yeah, I know
make
that
sure I
feeling.
never get hit, make sure my friends never get hit, and while I do it, I'm gonna point my middle finger and say, "Haha, is that all you got?" But in a one shot, I want to fuck around with people, mess with their brains and whatnot. Like, that's the illusion class for me.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, we are coming to the end of. Well, I mean, we've run out of time, but we have got some questions, which we're going to go through now and quickly answer. So let me get them up.
And after these sent in questions, I also have a question.
Okay. And can you find where the questions are? Oh, there you go. Polls and questions. No.
My question will be a
so-
callback to the start, so it's not going to be that long and far.
Can you find the questions?
So I've got you. Is that the ones that the on the podcast? the
Yes.
questions one? So it's what is a wizard without your biscuits?
Oh, what? A wizard without biscuits is not a wizard at all.
No.
Really, he needs his bourbons.
He needs his bourbons. So here's one that's what's the best wizard subclass for the following types of games: roleplay focused, combat focused, exploration focused.
I think
we've
we
covered that.
pretty much covered them. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
then
have.
and then the
absolutely.
bonus question, which is interesting, is there a must-have spell for all three types of games?
Fireball.
And Fireball does not count. No, Fireball does not count. And this is Pyro asking this.
But so we said for roleplay, for combat, and for what else? What was it?
Exploration. like a
Exploration.
exploration type thing.
Well, that is a really good,
That's a
really,
good question.
really good question.
Mm.
I would
I mean, for
probably,
me,
yeah.
a spell that works all the time, no matter where you go, is
Fireball.
invisibility. Like you cannot go wrong. Yeah, fireball. You can never go wrong with invisibility.
No.
I think
If you're
invisibility is a good
exploring
one. Yeah.
something, you might want to go undetected because you don't know what you might fall into when you explore.
Mm.
If you're getting absolutely nuked in combat, you're gonna be like, you know what, guys, don't fucking hit me anymore. I'm gonna go invisible.
Hmm.
I mean, for role playing, you can sneak into things and steal from the merchant. Like, the, with invisibility, the possibilities are literally endless.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I think that's a
Or
really good answer.
counterspell,
I
because
really like that.
counterspell's always useful too.
Counter spell's always useful.
Nice.
Then there's another one that's so what are some good but unexpected multi-classing into wizard? For example, a monk wizard, something like that.
Mm.
Do
Well,
you
yeah,
have
exactly.
any-
That's a really good question. What would you multi-class into wizard?
The thing is that they already kind of made this transition kind of easy, because if you want to be a sneaky wizard, a really sneaky, you have the arcane trickster of the rogue.
Mm.
If you
Yeah.
want to be a heavy armor, like strong but also magic caster, you have the fighter's eldritch knight. So they kind of like covered the
Oh,
multi-classing a little bit by doing that.
really good point. Really good point.
No, I
And
like that.
for you, perhaps, as somebody who kind of don't know if you really like the wizard yet, maybe dip your toe with a fighter, Eldritch Knight, and you get to do a little bit of wizarding, a little bit of wizard spells,
Little bit of
but you're still a martial
little bit
class
of
at heart, and you're
jabby
gonna
jab.
swing that great axe really hard.
Yeah. Thoughts on the changes from 2014 till the new rules? What are your thoughts? I've got some good thoughts on this. I've got some
Go
really,
ahead, I would
really
love to.
Go,
strong
go, go!
thoughts.
You take this one.
No, I'm not the best person to discuss this. I think we've already gone over it. I do think that one of the big differences, I mean, is there's a lot of scaling differences that's definitely played a role here. I think that the new subclasses are now going through it all. It's really well thought out, I think, and each one offers its own unique powers, and it's not a. It doesn't seem to be as complex as it was previously.
Yes,
It seems a lot simpler and less tracking heavy, if I can call it that.
absolutely.
Because previously it was like you have to track which spell slot and which thing at which level and now it's kind of almost simpler.
Yes, and the rewording of so many things have made it simpler, because they were these long, hefty, complicated like sentences. Just like you felt like you were a wizard in real life, just trying to decipher this whole puzzle. And now they've made it simpler, not dumber, but simpler and easier to get into, easier to understand, and easier to utilize in actual game. And also, the new illusionist has been so fun. Like, for me to just build a new character with it, but so many great changes. Like, it does feel like a completely new subclass, even though it's just taking an old one, but it's just feels so different. It's great.
That's I completely agree. Honestly, I think that's our time done. I really appreciate the insights tonight. So, your final thoughts on the Wizards, guys?
I
want to ask my question now.
Go on.
Has your opinion changed, Nightbeard?
And this is what I was going to respond. I was going to respond. Look, I said it with a little bit tongue in cheek about Wizards. I mean, I've just a bit of background. Luger, I only started playing D&D at the start of this year, so I do not have
Awesome.
any formal investment in the in the history, coming from AD&D and all those kinds of things. But
Yeah, me neither.
um,
I've just played since
yeah,
2014 rules.
yeah. So I'm feeling more willing and confident to actually take on a wizard character.
You've
Which
met Eldir, who
Awesome.
was my first
Yeah,
wizard.
yeah. So I'll be bringing about a interesting wizard character, which I'll do. I'll bring it around to visit one day. Let me get them
And I look
fleshed out.
forward to it.
I look forward to it as well. And if you
Go.
need help with building any character anytime, just let me know. I know too much.
And that
about
means
it.
anyone in the server, give Luke a shout.
Sure, do it. I'll
Thank-
be happy to help.
Thank you
I
so.
might.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just gonna say it's been a pleasure to be here, but that's probably what you were going to say. It's a pleasure having us here.
No, it's been yeah. This has been Tactics, Tales, Triumphs and Traps, Session 9, The Wizard. Thank you so much, everyone that joined in. We had a lot of viewers tonight. I've really appreciate Luger taking some time to talk with us, and Nightbeard as well. I've been your host, DM FaZe. We'll see you soon in the next session.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening.
Cheers.
Take care.